Since British Columbia first became a colony, royal commissions have been convened to address and help resolve issues of great public concern. In the wake of World War I, managing the milk industry was the problem. There was too much milk, and with certain groups controlling pricing in the province, some dairy producers and distributors were being shut out. Stacy Ross now with more on the Royal Commission on Milk in this
Too much milk. It was a big problem for BC dairy farmers and producers in the early 1950s.
We had seen an increased production to serve the needs of the Second World War, and then we found after the war that there was no real need for that kind of level of production. We also had the introduction of margarine at this time as well, so there wasn't this huge need for that milk.
And pricing rates set by the Milk Board were not being followed by all producers and distributors.
There was a fixed rate by a central agency that wasn't being actually played out in the industry.
As was and still is the case with many issues of public concern, the BC legislature convened a royal commission.
So in this instance, a commissioner was appointed by the Lieutenant Governor. They convene a staff, typically no more than about 6, to handle anything from the logistics of setting up hearings to gathering of evidence, witness statements, and then compiling the report.
The man in charge of the Royal Commission on Milk was lawyer John Valentine Klein, who later served as Chancellor of UBC.
There were 71 days of submissions. There was a huge list of people who gave exhibits and testimony in front of that commission. And it wasn't just the dairy producers, it was economists, it was scientists, it was across the board.
Ultimately, Klein's report, delivered early in 1955, found that dairy pricing standards needed review, and the province needed a better way to enforce them.
The Milk Board had a fixed price for these things. That wasn't being implemented in the industry. That was wrong. It had to go back to the fixed pricing.
Klein's report was considered to be fair and balanced, a reflection of the unusually large number of people who contributed as witnesses. Its impact on the industry and the Milk Board is evident even today.
They're very involved in not only the regulating of prices, but also health and safety, the import-export, transport of milk, if you will. So it really has given the Milk Board a real player status in the dairy industry.
The Royal Commission on Milk making headlines 60 years ago, this week in history.
This Week in History, brought to you by the Royal BC Museum, bringing British Columbia's stories together.